My name is Shannon Lance. I'm currently here in recovery at McShin Foundation. I got out of jail on January 10th, 2021, and while I was incarcerated there, my mother passed away due to COVID complications on December 14th. It was a really challenging event in my life. While I was incarcerated there, I watched.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Get in the Herd, brought to you by the McShin Foundation here in Richmond, Virginia. Today, we have two really special guests, including our producer here today. We have a room full of peer leaders here at the McShin Foundation. And so I asked Pat to join us today because he's also a house leader. I've been a house leader in our housing. I grabbed Mike for the same reason. And although he knows this, but he doesn't realize this, that the common theme is that all four of us have been a house leader with McShin. Justin, who is our producer today, was my first house leader when I moved back here back in long time ago. But that is to say, welcome to all of you for listening today. And guys, welcome. Pat.
Welcome. Thank you.
Tell me, what's going on with you, Pat?
What's going on? I got a whole lot going on my plate right now. But I mean, I'm blessed though, honestly. So I got the house leader thing going on over at Smith House. I think I've been doing that for about 3 months, maybe a little shy of 3 months. I'm the transportation coordinator for McShin. So starting this like kind of Uber thing going on to get guys to their appointments. We get job interviews, get them to their jobs, stuff like that. And I do a little restaurant thing on the side. So, McUber. What was it? I
like Miffed.
Miffed. That's what it was. I like Miffed too.
I feel like it sort of conjures up so many things. So, well, welcome. Thank you. Mike, welcome to the show. I know this is your first time on the show, and I really admire. It's live TV here, guys. I really admire you jumping in and being part of this today. So, what brings you on the show today? Tell us about who you are and what brings you here.
Well, let's see. I'm Mike, and I am a person who is suffering from substance use disorder. So I came to McShin Foundation from a program in Riverside Regional Jail, and it was a veteran program. But McShin came in 3 times a week, and at first I was just going with the motions to try to complete that jail program, and I started to hear some of the stories, and I was inspired to come to this foundation once released. And I was so inspired that they gave me a scholarship. And once I got here, man, it was 28 days turned into, I've been in here since February the 1st. But after 18 days, man, I received a, you can call it promotion. I became house manager.
After 18 days?
After 18 days, man.
Wow.
That's God, man. So I accepted it, and been just thriving, man, trying my best to be the best man that I can be each day of my life. And so after that job position, which I still hold at the Scott Z Intensive Treatment House, became a peer recovery coach. So now I'm taking Zoom classes Thursdays and Saturdays to become a peer recovery specialist. Right, and there's so many opportunities. Like April the 24th, I actually have a class that's starting by my sponsor. Actually, he teaches peer forensic specialist, peer recovery, forensic specialist. So I guess within a matter of 90 days, man, through my higher power and McShin Foundation, with these doors that they open and provide, I will have 3 certifications. Weekend staffing. It's just great, man. Do some volunteer work on the weekends, weekend staffing. I was just awarded the opportunity to be a custodial maintenance here at the McShin Foundation.
Right on.
Yeah, so I'm basically just a janitor, but I'll take that.
Hey,
a janitor in recovery is better than a janitor out there in the world, right?
Yeah.
Because I've done that before, and it always led me down the wrong path.
Well, there's a lot of us who started our careers here. I myself started in that position. I was the herder and the facilities maintenance guy, custodial arts person, coordinator, the janitor. Like getting Jesse texted me, multiple times a day. So second floor bathrooms, honest. Oh, you got to keep the second floor for honesty, and of course the vacuum cleaner.
Oh man.
That's an art in itself, I think. Managing the vacuum cleaner.
Well, managing all the vacuums, but not stealing honesties off the second floor, man. I think you got kind of screwed a little bit yesterday in the staff meeting. How you doing over there, Justin?
What's up, man?
Justin was my first house leader when I got here, and he really set the tone for me as a participant. Helped me to connect with the guys in the house, helped me to get back and forth. I was at Chamberlain, which is about 1.5 miles from here, and helped me get back and forth to here to the center. Also really just kind of listened to me a lot when I was kind of going a little crazy in my thinking. So appreciate you, buddy.
Hey, no problem. I do what I can.
You do what you can. We talk a lot about the authentic peer recovery movement here. So for those of you listening, you probably know what we do here. This is authentic peer recovery, which means that I'm a person in recovery from a substance use disorder. Pat's a person in recovery. Justin's a person in recovery. I believe every staff member currently is a person in recovery. We do get some volunteers. We got people listening. We'll get to that in a second. But that value, they talk about it in the 12 steps. We say the therapeutic value of one addict helping another is without parallel. So we talk about that now, here, how that translates is that authentic peer recovery, has really paved the way for creating opportunities for all of us in recovery to help the next person, in an even different capacity, So what are the challenges you all face? I know, Pat, you've been in recovery for a little while now, and Mike, you're here, you're newish, getting in, but you've really acclimated really well. What are the challenges you face as peers in recovery, helping other peers in recovery?
So I take myself wherever I go, right? So I am a person in recovery. I have a little over 2 years, but that being said, that doesn't mean I'm too far removed, right? I have good days, I have bad days, and I still have to keep my recovery up front. Just because I'm around recovery and I work in the recovery field, that doesn't mean that I get to neglect my personal recovery. So I still got to go to meetings. I still got to do step work. I still have to do all the things that got me clean and keeps me here. I like I said, I have bad days. So that's authentic peer-to-peer recovery is we show up, we're happy, we have good things going on in our lives and we get to celebrate together, but we also have bad days. And that doesn't mean we don't get to not come to work. But I think that's a really good opportunity to teach people that, you just keep moving on no matter what,
Suit up and show up.
That's right. Suit up and show up. You just keep doing what you got to do, and tomorrow will be a better day. And if tomorrow's not a better day, then hopefully it will be soon.
Yeah.
So
how about you, Mike? What challenges as a peer in recovery do you find helping other peers in recovery?
Well, that's a great question. Being a peer leader and entrusted with other members' lives per se, that intensive treatment house where you get guys fresh off the street, you get guys fresh from jail, I take that very, very seriously, because you're dealing with, you could say or do the wrong thing that could affect someone drastically and make them leave and go use.
Yeah.
So, I don't get much sleep, but I do all things, according to my higher powers will, not my will. And so if I see something in someone that I already experienced or I see in myself, then I must make sure that I address it immediately, because that could be their last night. So if I don't take care of it that night, that may be their last night, And so
it's real.
Yeah, absolutely, man, because I've overdosed and died multiple times. And seeing it and living it firsthand, it was all for a reason, so that I can be able to see it in someone else.
Yeah.
And so it's definitely a challenge, but it's also rewarding because you get to see the guys as they transform, man, through this process. like, wow, man, I've had guys come in like 7 days in and like you don't even really recognize it. You can laugh and joke about their first day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And how rough it was,
Yeah.
but they made it through, man. And they stuck through.
Yeah.
And so that's a blessing, man.
You know, as house leaders and as peer leaders, you know, here we get that first, you know, often it's maybe the first or the first real interaction with the participant, you know, where we're demonstrating, you know, hey, come in, you know, eat with us. I mean, that's a big thing for me. I think it's big for all of us here, you know, the sharing that meal right off the bat, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, that's a awesome thing. Right over there, Justin. Oh, you poor thing.
I've got some kind of shoulder injury that I can't figure out what it is. I got a doctor's appointment, but yeah, I'm fine.
Oh, I look over and Justin making these faces like he's being turned into a gremlin or something.
It's been keeping me up at night. It's I don't know.
Oof.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you need to work that out with your sponsor and maybe do some step work.
Oh, he's here. Trust me, he's watching.
Yeah.
Well, I know that too, but I didn't want to out you guys. You know, it's an anonymous program. But
Oh yeah, no. I mean,
I do want to look at, though, I see there's a couple comments there. So Alicia Venable, does McShin provide internships? Absolutely. So the main line, phone line that goes through, if you want to contact that main line, I think it's going to go that 804-249-1845 and ask to speak with Jesse Wysocki, our Chief Operating Officer. He can talk to you about how that is, what that is, and what that looks like for you. There's always, you know, we could always use more help and appreciate you reaching out to us. I did see Lane W asking about second step stuff there for so anything you want to talk about there?
oh God. Yeah, I mean, we can, sure.
Well, before we talk about it, what is the second step? Do you know it?
You're gonna put me on the spot.
We came to
believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity.
Oh boy!
Give me a little push start there. All right. Yeah.
For those 12 steppers out there.
I mean, yeah. So just because like I'm removed from the drugs, that doesn't mean that my thoughts are less insane. Like I'm still an insane person, and I still do absolutely insane things. Like I guess I do them a little less, or maybe they just change what they look like.
Yes.
But
yes.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe more of the latter. But yeah. Yeah. So I mean, we use a higher power, and for me, I mean, it looks like really, you know, anything that's in that moment, I can use anything as my higher power in that moment, right? If maybe it's another this whole peer-to-peer recovery thing. I love to surround myself with other recovering addicts because that person can also be my higher power in the moment. If I'm thinking insane thoughts, like I'm going to go use, even though I know that doing the same thing, expecting different results, like that's the definition of insanity. Mm-hmm. I start getting those wild hairs thinking, you know, maybe I can drink a beer. It's getting warm outside. It's getting nice. Maybe a good old margarita would be good, you know, but that's just a flavored relapse, really.
Like, flavored relapse,
you know?
Ooh.
So, I mean, anything really. I mean, I have a 4-year-old son. I keep his picture on my phone. So like the first thing, no matter what, I always see his face there. So, I mean, he's a great reminder that, you know, you know, since I've been out of jail about 4.5 months, well, about 4 months now. And since I got out, like I get to go see him. Visitation starting to get more regular. I call him on a daily basis. And like, if I use that, all that's gone. Yeah. So, I mean, you know, and also I have a pretty good relationship with, you know, I'm a Christian, so I go to church on Sundays and all that stuff. And I know that's not for everybody, but that works for me. Like, you know, I keep my Bible next to my bed, and that's a reminder every single morning, you know? Yeah. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You've got big things going on. You know, the new job, I got to, Justin and I went and sat in your section the other day and ran you a little bit.
That was fun. They sat them on the opposite side of the restaurant that I was in. Like I was literally, they couldn't have gotten any farther unless they were in the parking lot.
Well, we chose that table actually. So no, we didn't.
I don't doubt it.
That was a fantastic. Oh, I'm scoot. All right, there we go. That was a fantastic meal, though. Hope Can I shout them out?
Yeah, bring them on.
So Texas Roadhouse. See Dixie. By the way, Dixie, thank you for saying we're awesome. You are awesome too. Dixie. See Dixie or Pat. I suggest going at least twice or in multiples of 2 so that you can bounce back and forth between the two of them. 2 awesome people in recovery who are doing awesome stuff. Working at the Texas Roadhouse on Brook Road. Excuse me.
Right.
So yeah, freaking amazing meal. Big things for both of you. So you were talking about the PRS training, which is the peer recovery specialist training. Tell us, what is that? How do you get that training? What is the training, and what do you do after that?
Okay, great. Well, for me, I would have loved to take the PRS training right here at the McShin Foundation, because they do offer that. Have great facilitators, but it's only every 3 months, and I just missed it. I got my peer recovery coach, and I believe it's $300-$500 to sign up for the peer recovery specialist, and 72-hour training is spread out, especially due to COVID. I'm taking mine on Zoom, so they spread those hours out. You learn a lot about outreach, language, recovery pathways. But what I'm learning now is more out on the outreach, and that's where we're at in the languages and just different modules you read and study and ask the questions at the end. But the rewarding part is you get to practice in that field, and it's a part of your certification to obtain 500 hours. And so in those 500 hours, you get to actually, like an internship, to answer that question. It's kind of like an internship where you go and you volunteer to get these hours and you work in that field. And it's great, man, that I get to grab those hours right here in the foundation at McShin, man. It's great, man, because I go to classes and I volunteer, and that willingness open up doors for, employment. And so it's not actually working in that field, but it's damn near close. I'm just don't have the actual credentials yet, but I'm sure by the end of the 500 hours, I'll be considered certified without the credentials. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Without them, because it's great, man, daily to help people, man. It's really a privilege, man, an honor,
I actually did my PRS training right here in this room. Mm-hmm. As a matter of fact, I didn't think about it till just now. It wasn't through McShin. It just happened to be the facilitator used this space and another space up near New York House. But I found it, I was in person back in the, before the COVID times, way before those times, back in my day. But what I really loved about that training was the role play situations, and to hear all the different approaches to the different scenarios with the individuals there, because as the guy who trained us, whose name is escaping me at the moment, but he's not one approach is going to be the same for everybody, and not one approach is necessarily more right than another. So kudos to you for jumping on that stuff.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, kudos to you. Pat, what's going on, buddy? How you liking it over there at Smith House? Are the guys treating you good?
No, my house is awesome. Justin's actually he's a part of the house, so he's one of my best members, man.
What?
So
thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome, man.
I understand you need to clean under your bed.
Oh, I need to clean under my bed. Okay.
No, that's a sore subject. Let's not even go into that right now.
I love it. All I have to do is say the right combination of words, and
gosh.
Nate, I'm going to show up at your house and check under your bed.
You go.
Actually, I just cleaned it.
Some monsters under there.
There's definitely monsters in my room. They're the ones I bring every day. But
hey, let's not talk about the closets either. There's skeletons in there.
Scary in there.
Shit, I've been out of the closet for over 20 years. Shout out to Lane for watching, Dixie for watching. Alicia, what is that? Venable Community Services Incorporated is a peer-run organization. Compliments to the Sarah Center 2012. I know Sarah Center. I'm not entirely sure what you're referencing there, but that's awesome. I know Victor McKenzie at the Sarah Center. In fact, I was talking to him yesterday. They do some great work. I know that they do a lot of work with the CSBs throughout Virginia. So good stuff there. Am I reading that right? Love that authentic peer recovery. We are working hard to support this in the UK. We've got people from England, from the UK watching the show. That's awesome, man. Thank you.
Worldwide.
Worldwide. Mr. Worldwide.
Yeah.
So, as I was telling Mike before the show, and I didn't give Mike much thought. I sometimes like to just grab people without letting him have too much thought before they get on the show, because we get stuck in at least for me, I get stuck in my own head. I worry about, am I going to say the right thing? Blah, 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 blah. It's like, just let's do it.
You told me in the parking lot earlier today.
Yeah. Well, I gave you way more time than I gave Mike, though. So, I literally grabbed him 10, 15 minutes before the show.
Love that, right?
Yeah. I said, come on. That was more because two people, Justin's going to be over there stretching and stuff. So he wasn't going to be much of the conversation, but I figure, let's get Mike in. But I wanted to talk. No, I appreciate you too. But I think, pretty sure I don't know about you, but I know that at least the three of us have all been incarcerated as a direct or indirect result of the disease of addiction. Have you? I don't know if you spent time, and you don't have to.
Yeah.
Wow, congratulations.
Yeah.
All right, well, the three of us have done plenty of time for you. So, one of the things that this podcast does is it reaches into, the jails and prisons all across the country, as it turns out. And, I was talking to Todd about this. Todd, our what do we call him now? Our executive producer, I guess.
Executive producer.
Yeah, the executive producer of the show. Yes. I'm getting an executive producer cred too. You get paid the big bucks. But no, seriously though, this show reaches into the jails and prisons, and people are actually picking it up on their tablets and watching listening to what we're talking about. And I didn't have that.
I wish I had that so much.
And we've had participants here. We have participants here who heard us and got information about us through the Get in the Herd podcast. So, I keep that in mind as we're talking now, because, a lot of times when I was in jail, for me, it was the individuals who came in. I went through a McShin program in jail, and it was the individuals who came in to facilitate that was my connection to something other than me. I wouldn't say that became my higher power, but it showed me a power greater than myself. It put me on a path, to my recovery foundation right there. And so, I love that. Hey, Jason, I love that we're able to do that. So with that in mind, what do you want to talk to? What do you want to tell the guys and gals who might be listening right now?
Dude, it gets better. It gets so much better. Like I still 4 months removed from it, and I just got done doing 24 months in jails. So I never made it to prison. I was stuck because of COVID. So I never really made it to the pen. I was in pods. COVID was running rampant through there. And I get these I don't want to call them flashbacks, but I just remember where I was, last year, this time. I remember exactly what cell I was in. And I think back to those moments where all it was me, my Bible. I had some NA literature. I had some AA literature, anything I could get my hands on that was recovery related. And, a notebook, which I filled up probably 3-4 notebooks when I was in there or whatever, just writing anything that I thought. But it gets better. The time passes. And when you get out, good gosh, man, it's so nice. I know most of the guys that have been in there, I know it's recidivism. That was not my first time going to jail. So, I'm sure you guys know that, but, man, it's people that care about you out here. McShin has been a family to me, and recovery in general has been a family to me. Not saying that my family is not there, but there's a lot of us out there in the recovery field that, their family isn't there, man. And this is a big recovery family. So, hold tight. Things get better.
I like that. Yeah. Hold tight. How about you, sir?
Wow. This topic on prison life. Wow. Let's see. What could I tell the listeners about the transition or even the idea of change? Because when you're sitting in that jail cell right now, right? Or that prison cell, You know, we might fantasize or dream about the things that we'll do when we get out. But once we touch that gate, man, you know, we have to make a decision. And that's step 3, making a decision, you know, to turn your will and your life over to the care of God as you understood him. You know what I mean? As you understand him. I found Jesus in jail, you know.
Yeah.
So the God of my understanding, we built a relationship in that jail cell. And it really helped me in my recovery. It really helped me in my recovery to where it helped free my mind, man, because the way I thought, I had to find guidance, man, because all I knew was street life and hustling and fighting, violence and guns and women. That's all I knew, man. You know, I didn't know nothing else. I didn't know how to live, man. I didn't know how to talk. Every word I said was N this or MF that or B this. I couldn't even talk, man. Like, it's like I was a child all over again, trying to learn how to live, man, walk. So for a while, I didn't say anything, man. I separated myself in the jail. I just came home from doing 23 months. Altogether, I did about a total about 13 and a half years. Okay, so 8.5 years straight in prison, Virginia. So if anybody knows about Virginia state prisons, all prisons is rough, man. But Virginia, it's tough, man. And I didn't learn one thing when I was in prison because I was the same person. I didn't want to change. You know, I kept hanging around the same people, the same languages, the same ideas, and the same actions. And I kept getting the same results. And I got out and within a matter of 10 months, I was back in jail. And got a bond. In a matter of 2 months after that, I violated it, was back in jail. And it's like I was missing something. Like I kept going back to see if the bunk was still there or something. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like it's still there. Yeah. We get out and we think that we got it all figured out. Guess what? One thing that I remember now, them places is not going anywhere. They are built to withstand all types of weather, fires, all that. Yo, they're not going nowhere. Them prisons and jails are not going anywhere. Mm-hmm. So it's something that I must do because those places are not changing. I need to change. And so, I decided to do something different. I gave it a chance, man. And I started to shut up and listen. But after I listened, I had to start doing. You know what I mean? And humility. Because when we in these places, man, can't nobody tell me nothing when I'm locked up. I ain't listening to you. You better not try to tell me what to do. What's up? You trying to step in the cell? We're going to rumble. What's up? You see what I mean? Like, we got to I had to put all that to the side here because ain't no gangsters in recovery, man. Ain't no gangsters. No matter what I look like on the outward appearance, God judges the heart. And so that's what I do today. I love people, man, until they can love themselves. I let them know who I used to be and let them see who I am today. You know what I mean? And that's the blessing of this thing, man. You know, that's the blessing.
What was the catalyst? What made that switch for you? What changed for you? You know, doing the same thing over and over again. What stopped that cycle for you?
I don't know, man. Something clicked this time. These 23 months, like 4 months in, because I was ready to kill myself. I was ready to dump a bunch of pills down my neck and kill myself. But somebody came to me in the pill line, matter of fact, while I was trying to hustle and bustle and find a way to score somebody's pills because he had a brace on. And I'm like, yeah, I can get something good. Come on, man. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And so But he was a chaplain of the program. It was a veteran program I was in. He was the active chaplain. He spoke some words into my life, that God is going to do something special for you. And it took that, man, that encouragement. It took those words, man, for someone to believe in me, because I didn't believe in myself. So even in these rooms, they tell us to find one person who believes in you, man, and you stick with them. And so that's what changed. I finally started to believe again in myself. And that step 2 piece, I came to believe that a power greater than myself could restore me to sanity. You know what I mean? I had to believe in something, man. And so, like I said, when I found Jesus, man, that's what changed for me. When I found someone to believe in. No matter what your higher power is, you got to believe in something, man. Something bigger than you. Them drugs was bigger than you. That penal system is bigger than you. So if that's what it takes, man, to scare your ass straight, there you go. Use it. You know what I mean? Use it. That PO is bigger than you. All them judicial systems, they're all bigger than you. Them task force, DEA, come on, man. They're all bigger than you. And they will gun you down in them streets. So if that's what it takes for you to change, whatever higher power, something greater than yourself, man, mine is Jesus. So I'm good with that. I don't need a DEA to tell him, kick my dough in. Put me down on the floor. I don't need that today.
I'm good on that too.
That's
man.
awesome.
Turning myself in had to be the worst feeling ever, man. I don't ever want to do that again. That was bad. Yeah.
I talk about my routine all the time, right? And part of my day, one of the first things I do in the morning is that my morning ritual, and I'm making my bed and my gratitude, but that is my reminder, that is the most spiritual part of my day, that getting up and making that bed and putting some action into my gratitude and coming to some kind of acceptance of, what, this is where I am today. And we have fun. Yeah. We have fun in recovery. We have a blast. I mean, and we get to laugh. We get to eat a lot.
Oh yeah.
We get to eat a lot.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
No more commissary.
No more commissary. Yeah. Although I'll tell you, I like some ramen still. And I like to make a swole, but that's.
I made one when I got out, and that was it. But it wasn't like, it didn't have any like packaged stuff. Like, this was real meat. It was real cheese that actually like melted, not that non-melt cheese that they have there.
It just bubbles.
That's it, man. Ours didn't even do that. It literally just went from like a yellowish color to black. Like that was it. There was no in between.
Disgusting.
I get to have relationships with people I love and who love me back for no other reason than I'm a human being.
I get to have relations.
That's what you can do.
Hey,
say it again.
Hey, come on. I'm sorry, guys, we're doing time, man. But yeah, come on out and get some of this recovery, man.
That's right.
Get to have relations.
Hey, I get to use my money as a tool. Like,
that's right.
I get to actually spend my money on things that I enjoy and actually get to share things with people. Like, it's not all that. Before I was working for the dope man. That was it. Do not pass go. This money literally went straight from my employer's hand, and I might as well not even touch it. It just goes straight to them.
That's crazy you say that, Pat. I just bought a 43-inch. Hey, and I didn't have thoughts to take it to the crack, man.
Right, man. That's what I'm saying. Like
$248. I was like, look, man, you get this for $300, man.
We get to develop collections and hobbies. Like, I know Pat's new hobby is collecting antique glass bottles.
I have one glass bottle. It was
this is a joke, by the way.
That's funny, man.
I've gone shopping for art with Pat.
Yeah, I got to decorate my room like how I wanted to, instead of like pencil shading something and then the CO come behind me and be like, you got to get that off the wall, man. Or like magazine cutouts. Like, I don't got to cut out magazines to decorate my walls anymore.
Right.
You know what's different about being out here? the state toothpaste does not clean my shoes.
Yeah,
And I don't hang stuff up on the walls with that state
And,
toothpaste.
like state toothpaste has a multi-purpose. It's used for everything in jails. They should really market it. I mean,
seriously,
really, man, we find all types of things that we can use state toothpaste for. Shout out to state toothpaste.
Shout out to state
yeah.
toothpaste.
That stuff is stronger than Gorilla Glue, man. I
on,
swear.
That stuff is real, man.
I like how you talked about cutting out pictures though, and putting them up for art.
Yeah, man. I mean, I had my whole like top bunk or whatever. I was lucky enough where the last part of my sentence, like I was on workforce, and the COs like barely ever come in there, would chill with us and stuff like that. So I was kind of into Hilton Suite at the latter part of it, right? But jail is jail, right? You know, still behind the door. I still couldn't talk to my loved one. I still couldn't see my son, like all that stuff, man. You know.
When I first went into the McShin block, where I was in Fauquier County, adult daycare, adult detention center. When I went into the McShin block, I went into a cell. I was able to get into the bottom bunk right off the jump there.
I bet.
And yeah, well, they were
climb up there.
That was a clever little short joke there. Good one, Mike. Almost went over my head. Oh. But I got into that bunk and I laid down, and the person who'd had that bunk before me had written "pray" right above me.
Amen.
And I wasn't a big for me, I thought God had forsaken me at that point. And without making this a big giant religious thing, I really did embrace that. That became a real big part of my routine in the morning too. It still is a big part of my routine in the morning. In fact, the same prayer every morning, and there are other things that I say too, but I use the same prayer. In AA, it's the 11th step prayer. If you're Catholic, it is a prayer of St. Francis. It came to me when I was in jail, and I sort of went with it, and I stick with it to this day, where Lord, make me an instrument of thy peace, where there's hatred, let me bring love. And I can just stop right there, for me. And when I do that on a daily basis, I'm doing better. I'm doing better. Look at my husband. I love you, Brandy Brunson. Do we know her?
Hey, baby.
Do we know that woman?
Actually, we do. She's just a new participant here, right? Nah, that's my wife, man. I love you, baby.
I love it. See, now we get to have relations. That's a different show. We're gonna put that on the after hours version of the McShin podcast.
Right.
We haven't had an after hours show in a while, have we? It's Mike. Who is Addison Freeman?
That's my stepdaughter. That's my baby.
Oh, hey. Very cool.
Nice,
all right,
man.
Good to see you.
I'm a celebrity, y'all.
We like having Mike on the show here. For those of you who listen on a regular basis, we have been a little sporadic with our shows, and we've had a lot of things going on here. Blah blah blah. Alex left. You probably don't even know this, but Alex left. March 5th or whatever it was. He left a couple weeks ago, and he's moved on. He's doing big things with corn.
Nice.
I love it. But we are going to have Alex on the show, I think, next week. I talked to him today. I talk to him every once in a while. Yeah, we'll have him on the show, I think, next week. Tomorrow, I don't have a plan yet for tomorrow, but I think we'll figure that out. And then I have extra special guests for Thursday. We have a extra special guest for Thursday at 2:00. Excuse me. Someone who is incredibly important to my recovery, still is, but has been since I first got here. And I'll just leave it at that. We call that a teaser. Is that what that is?
That's what that is.
The teaser?
A teaser.
No, not that. That's a different kind of teaser there, buddy.
Hey, we got kids watching.
Oh, great. But so we're doing a lot of things here at McShin, right? We've got our peer recovery model, right? We've got all four of us here have been or are currently house leaders. The two of you are house leaders. I've been, Justin's been. We have about 130 participants at the moment, something like that. It's crazy.
Wow.
Crazy when we're filled up, right?
Yeah.
We do have some open beds available, so if you or someone you love needs a spot, let us know. Reach out.
Please reach out.
Reach out. Yeah,
Don't
as much
be
as I'm
afraid.
sitting here laughing and joking, y'all know that I can be really serious too. But we have a lot of fun in recovery. And I think, you mentioned how the addiction and maybe the behaviors come out in other ways. Sometimes it's comical, sometimes we have to hurt ourselves a little bit more. What do they say? When the pain gets great enough, things will stop. For me recently, I've been spending a lot of money on blowing up pictures, printing pictures out, photographs, which is just silly.
I like it. Those pictures look awesome.
Yeah, well, no, see, that's the problem is I'm getting validation. I'm getting that instant gratification validation.
Look good, though.
Yeah, but so it's like it encourages me to spend more money
well.
that I don't have. So if you want to fund my addiction, send money for my photographs. I'll send you a photograph. And also, I want to do a shout out to Bang, which is bang, bang, bang. Oh, there we go. That's it right there. No, Justin's saying no. That's our producer over there. We'll be good. I'll tell you later, Mike.
Yeah. Bang, 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 bang.
Addison, he misses you, and I also miss you. Aw, how sweet. My sister often watches the show. My father has too. So my mom's been on the show actually. So
really?
Yeah, well, hey, we do family. We've had family on the show.
That's cool. That is cool.
So what else? We got about another 5 or 6 minutes to go here.
I wanted to shout out to all those who are a little bit hesitant about coming into recovery. I just want to let you know, man, I was supposed to be here ever since 2017, and I kept running, man. I thought I could do it on my own, man. But when I got here, man, I noticed something. I had a family, man, that I didn't have, in my own, family. There was something special here that I didn't have before. And that's what made me stay. I could have been gone, 28 days and been done with it. Nah, man, there's something truly special going on here, man. And I'm not just saying that because I work here. I'm saying that because there's something special. Like you won't really know until you get here, man. And feel the love, man. Especially if you come to the intensive treatment house where I manage. We eat together. We laugh together. We play together. Shed tears on certain occasions. Yeah, men cry too. Yeah. But it's great, man. It truly is, man, that we learn and grow together. And we support one another, man. And that's something that I didn't have with my immediate family, man. I didn't have that, But I find it here. So I would much rather be here. And it's sad. But today I love myself enough to stay with others and allow someone else to love me. And so, man, don't be afraid of change, man, because change is good. Change is good. It's painful while it's happening, but for those who endure shall receive a peaceful fruit. So that's all I got to say about that, man.
Thank you.
I think one of the coolest things. So I'm part of a 12-step fellowship, right? So I have a sponsor, right? One of the coolest things that he tells me all the time is you can do literally whatever you want to do in this program. You could literally do whatever you want to do in this program, as long as you're willing to accept the consequences and don't use no matter what. So with that said, I watch people come in here being a transportation guy. Like I pick people up from the airport. I pick people up from the train station. Mm-hmm. Like I see them like still carrying trash bags, and like I get to watch them evolve into, like you're saying, you're doing your thing with the pictures, right? Like I see people like start dressing a certain way. They go out and they buy a bunch of, whatever clothes. And then the next week they're trying a new style. And the next week they're trying a new style. And like, eventually you see them kind of start slowing down and wearing the same thing. Like I watch people find themselves in this program. Mm-hmm. I don't really think, I'm a firm believer that I don't think there's any wrong way to do this. Like just don't use, things will get better. Things will get worse sometimes, and then they get better again, and then they get worse again, and then they get better. Just don't use, and things evolve. As long as I have faith in my higher power, the way it works for me is things usually get better. I do the next right thing for the next right reason. And when that happens, like things get better in my life. So, I mean, dude, I used to, as a kid, I used to hunt and fish and like do the 4-wheeling thing. And like, I was a big country kid. Like, I loved killing squirrels and eating and cooking them on a fire when I was a kid, right? And I dropped all that when I started. Yeah, I know, right?
There's not a lot of meat on those squirrels.
Hey, I know, and they're kind of tough. Not gonna lie.
You're perfectly good rabbit.
They're a little tough, But I lost all that when I started using. Like, I lost my whole identity. I was all about, at the very bottom of the bottom. Like, I was in Southside Richmond getting shot at. Like, I mean, and I never saw that. I never saw myself begging on a street corner with the sign, like the cardboard sign guy. Yeah, that was me for a little while.
So you would say that the only thing that you made happy by you using, the two things you'd made happy by you using, would be your dealer and the squirrels.
Yeah. Squirrels were ecstatic.
Squirrels were happy to see you getting high.
I'm not gonna lie. If I had a BB gun, though, that might have solved some of my hunger issues a little bit.
Tough piece.
But yeah, no, I mean, I was of service literally to nobody.
Yeah.
I made money for the dope guy, but I mean, like, in recovery, I lost dreams awaken. Like, you get to find yourself again. I got a compound bow. I'm about to go buy some fishing stuff. Like, I get to waste money on Bass Pro Shops. Like, I don't have a significant other, so I can like spend that money right now.
Antique,
which is pretty cool.
Antique glass bottles.
Yeah. Artwork, candles.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. Things get better, man. Just don't. Whatever you do, just don't use, no matter what. Things get better, man.
That's right.
Yeah, I love it. Justin, before we go, do you have anything you want to add to the pot?
Well, honestly, for me, it was scarier to stay in the same situation that I was in. I was going downhill fast, and I didn't really know what else to do with myself. I had completely isolated. I was basically staying in bed all day. And then when I came here, my entire life changed in the period of about 2 weeks. I got, connected with tons of people that I had known from before. I got involved with all types of, just stuff. I do things today that, 2 months, 3 months ago, I would have never thought that I was ever going to do again. And I don't know, for me, being clean is the best type of life that I've ever lived before. That's really it. So
brought to you by Bang. This is fun. I love this. I love doing this show, and I love having you guys on. I love being able to talk to some of my favorite people here. We will be on tomorrow, 2:00. Not sure who we're gonna have, but I'm sure it'll be fun and interesting. I've got extra special guests for Thursday. I'm gonna leave that there for you, so make sure you tune in on Thursday at 2:00. I was just on my phone trying to line up a guest for next week. So we're going to put this back onto a regular rotation Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 2:00. Thank you all for participating, listening. And, I think at the end of the day, I get to go home and I get to lay my head down and I get to do, in 12 steps, we call it, the 10th step. And I get to go through my day and, see what I need to fix and where I can make adjustments. And, I get to wake up and I get to do it all over again. And that's really freaking cool because I have a bunch of people with me all around me all the time doing the same thing, trying to be a little better today than we were yesterday, working together to be better and to help the next person coming in without judgment. Yeah. That was so important to me, to be able to walk in and somebody say, hey, you need socks. I've got socks for you. That was my jail thing, right? Mm-hmm. I came here and it was Justin and the guys at Chamberlain who were like, hey, we're making, I don't remember what it was, ribs or meat or whatever, some kind of meal, hey, here's a plate, eat, eat with us, just share and bring it in. And, I didn't know who I was, and still I've discovered new things about myself today too, but I do it with the safety, the protection of the people around me who want me to succeed, if only because they want to succeed themselves, not because they want something from me. And that's a beautiful thing. Thank you all for joining. Thank you all for being here today. With that, have a good day.
My name is Shannon Lance. I'm currently here in recovery at McShin Foundation. I got out of jail on January 10th, 2021, and while I was incarcerated there, my mother passed away due to COVID complications on December 14th. It was a really challenging event in my life. While I was incarcerated there, I watched the recovery videos and the podcast on the tablets there, that was made by the McShin Foundation. Getting the Herd podcast really made me feel like I was a part of something on the outside, because, there's people that are commenting and just seeing, people that I was incarcerated with on the videos, and just thinking, man, that's going to be me, before too long. And, I'm going to be sitting there in them rooms and, be able to be a part of the podcast and get in the Herd series. And, now I'm a part of the Herd here at McShin, and it's an amazing feeling, and it's nice having a fulfilled sense of hope in my life currently, and just to live one day at a time, and just to have positive feelings in my life and good relationships with my family and friends is an amazing event.